So if we could talk more about those strategies. So I love what you're saying about the instant feedback of the reward. So oftentimes parents have these expectations, but they in their own mind, set the standard, but it may not. So they kind of have to negotiate that with their child if they really
Ab- Absolutely,
talk a little bit about that.
absolutely. So rather, discipline is very variable, and it's very challenging in families where there are more than one child, because individuals with ADHD don't really waver or change due to the usual forms of discipline. So I recommend the book The Explosive Child, and it really is about what is called collaborative problem solving. And and that is where you really work to negotiate. You work to negotiate what is going on. Okay, so we'll back up the bus. There's a conflict going on at home. The parent usually wants to play the disciplinarian role to the child, and they lock in and engage. And fathers and sons in particular have the worst time, where they really are power play.
Okay.
No one's going to win. The doctor who wrote the book, Ross, yeah, forget his first name, but he wrote the book The Explosive Child, and he actually from hated the title the of it, but he took all the money and put it into a website called www.livesinthebalance.org. And it's a terrific site where he has videos about how to do this collaborative problem solving. So instead of locking heads, this is when you use timeout. That's to be a benefit and say, okay, let's take a break. You go to your room. I'm going to go to my room. Let's both settle down, and we'll reconvene. How about tonight before you go to bed? We'll talk about it.
So,
And
so,
at
so,
that
time,
time,
so timeout is another word for space, right? Let's take space.
exactly,
Yeah.
take some space, and not and saying that we're just in a position where we're just really struggling here. And so and so what you do then is that then at night, then go in and say, okay, what was that all about? And one person starts, you ask the child that, then he says, well, you wouldn't let me play PlayStation, and I didn't get my 10 minutes. And then you say, well, you didn't finish your math homework. And then you go back, well, then, and so you're going back and forth and going back and forth. And what you're actually doing is trying to have the child figure it out himself. A better way to have done this, wouldn't it have been better to finish the homework rather than try to sneak in PlayStation, that kind of a thing. It's a I keep saying, I told you I forgot his name. It's Ross Green, and he's at Boston Children's. And I actually went and did a conference one after and did an afternoon with him in one of these settings where we all had to play kids and parents, and it was really hilarious. But you can see, it's a different way of approaching, approaching discipline and getting work completed without locking in and engaging in just a screaming match, which often occurs because the emotions keep rising and rising.